Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, where it's raining in our studio.
Right.
This hat can say only, well, it says two things. It says, one, we're talking about Watershed, and it says, two, that Kathy Dino must be in our studio. Welcome.
Yeah,
it's great to have you.
Yeah, you know, I need the cloud, so I can be like right over you where the rain is coming down.
No, I have my own personal little rain cloud I carry on with me already.
Yeah,
I really don't. I'm like Charlie Brown. I really don't need one.
Okay.
But it's okay. But this one's a little distracting, so I'm going to take it off. Is that okay?
That's
I
fine.
love this one. Clearly, we're going to be talking about Watershed.
Water.
Yeah, but some other aspects. But first of all, let's
happy water.
Yeah, happy. Well,
happy face.
See, smiling.
Yeah.
See that? Okay, the Watershed. To wrap people's head around how significant this is. Water from Wasatch Mountain State Park, back behind us in our backyard.
Yeah, so if you go over Guardsman's Pass,
all the way
there
across,
at the top,
yeah. Travels all the way down into Utah County.
Right.
And then goes north.
Right.
All the way into Salt Lake County.
Right.
So people in Salt Lake City, when they come up and spend time at Wasatch Mountain State Park and they don't clean up after their dog,
right.
About 2 days later, when they get back down to Salt Lake, they're drinking that water.
Coming out of their faucet.
I want people to understand what we're talking about here.
Right.
That's what we're saying.
Yes. Yeah. So if you think about a bathtub or you know, a big ring, everything at the top of the mountain ridge that you can see. So if you go outside and you look at the top, everything coming down this way is part of the watershed, and it goes into streams and creeks and lakes, and then it eventually flows into bigger lakes or bigger creeks, rivers.
It takes a lot more than 2 days, but
and it flows into the Great Salt Lake.
That's right.
And then from there it evaporates. But in the meantime, it gets piped to here and there, and it's all.
And we drink it.
And as far and
we
also
wash with it.
Right. And as far as coming from Trial Lake as well in the east, you know, it's
way
coming
up
that
there.
way. It's still the same watershed. So everywhere that we play, you know, or live, and you know, one of the biggest things about that is the community that it creates. So if you think about where we live in a mountain community, or we live in a college community, maybe we have a church community, you know, a sports community where, you know, we have similar interests when we live in that community or when we socialize with each other. But when you think about a community as a whole, there's more to that. And it's all linked by water.
Right.
I think everybody in this community is linked by the water source. So, and you take all the living creatures, and that's what, when we talk about like populations, species, we have individual species, then we have populations of species. So we have a lot of elk, or a lot of deer, a lot of rabbits, a lot of birds, and you put all of those into an area, that becomes a community, because we all need the same resources, or you know, we're using each other, whether for food, we're competing for food, we're competing
we're all
for
chasing
water.
that soccer ball.
Right, yeah. And so when it's all working correctly, then we have a good, healthy community, planet, ecosystem, and it all stays intact. So think about, I mean, even just looking at the colors here, the trees, and we have some pictures, hopefully.
Yeah, we got some photos.
And then going over to Midway or Heber area, or over the top of Guardsman's Empire Pass, it's, you know, we have just a little bit more red. So that's up on the Cascade Springs road. But look at that, you know, we just have such a variety of red. So we're getting more people coming into that area, which means we have more ATVs, more hikers, bikers, more people playing in the watershed. And so we just need to be really aware of what that is, what that means, and how to keep it safe and clean, because like you said, eventually it's going to be coming out of your faucet.
Everything from that, from a little dog excrement to oil
garbage,
dripping off of your ATV to, I mean, really, everything eventually is going to end up there.
Yeah, and it needs to go through have you ever been to a water treatment plant?
I've been to one.
Wow, that's a dirty job.
That is not a job I would want.
Cleaning water is a dirty job. It's amazing. So all of that water, which means more money, more cost to us to clean our water, to test the water, to make sure it's clean. Yeah. So anything that we can do, and that's what I really like to tell people, is anything you can do specifically. You know, I tell the school kids, take your garbage home.
Yeah.
You deal with it. Don't make me deal with it. You deal with it. You know, because then I have 100 kids there at the park throwing their
Yeah.
garbage away. When they take it home, they have one. So anything we can do individually as one person is a lot easier than taking care of millions of people cleaning water and.
But reminding them about that, that individual effort is significant. In that, and I keep saying this. I see my kids do this, and I'm like, you got to be kidding. They're like, oh well, it's just the one thing.
Right.
No,
Right.
it's not just the one thing. It's the one thing this time and every time, and you're like one of 100 kids who's saying the same thing this morning.
Exactly.
Right. Take the time to wash that thing out and throw it in the
It's
recycle
called the
bin.
compound effect.
Right. It's a tough reminder, but it takes a couple minutes to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to do it every time, not just once in a while, not just when we feel like it. Now we have extra time.
Because you're not going to feel like it, right? You just have to decide. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to do the right thing.
But take the time to recycle every single time. Fill the recycle bin.
Reuse things, and don't feel like you got to buy the new iPod, whatever it is. The biggest and best thing out there when you have a perfectly good one.
Yeah, that all counts.
Yeah, it does.
Wow, that's awesing.
That's a big message for this morning.
I know
early
it
morning
is. Yeah, you're just Tim Cook will be calling you later on. He just released a new one. They're pretty excited about. Just a couple of them even.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about being good stewards when we're out there too. Just some things to do when we're outside. And it's everything from just picking up on the trail, right?
Picking up your dog poop,
right?
Your dog's dog poop,
or even somebody else's. Don't be afraid.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Grab a couple bags. We got bags
Bags
all
are
over
everywhere.
the park.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like all of a sudden, it's like, okay, I bagged it. Now I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah.
What?
So.
It's ridiculous. That's like all I see now.
Yeah.
It's look, another surprise. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
There's like so many of them.
Exactly. So be responsible. That's just be
what the
aware
problem
and be
is.
responsible.
There's just not enough kids doing dog poop sacks on people's porches anymore. Now there's just so much of it. No, we don't want them to do that either.
Don't do that.
I don't know. We should have some sort of a reward. I don't know what it has to be, but it's just weird to me that we have all this on the trail.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So it's
just have to go a little further and take it to the garbage can.
I'm just worried it's at your place too, because it's over here. It's like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And so over there
Either
too.
it's not picked up and there's no excuse because we have the dog stations.
Yeah, there's
around,
cans everywhere.
So, just people just being. Where are these people that we talk about?
Because
they're not here.
It's
not
six
us.
people. They're like hitting every trail every day.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something's happening. It's not me, right? Everybody says,
no,
don't do
it's
it.
you. Yeah.
Right?
So when I do things, I like to say it's me, us. It's not out there. It's right here.
What else? We can do some other stuff too, right? It's not just that.
Fishing line can pick. We have
huge
around
one. Fishing line, right?
The lake, the styrofoam stuff with the worms in it. The little containers. Yeah, that kind of stuff too.
It's noted. It should be notable that you can. Take a minute and clean up other people's stuff too, as I was saying. I think that kind of comes back to it, right? Yeah. Take a little more out than you brought in, right? Yep. If everybody did that, we'd be in better shape.
Yeah.
And then I always like to say this one, even though it may not seem relevant here, but it's so true. Whenever you're going anywhere, just try to plan your trip. Take the time to figure it out so you can do everything. Yeah. Make a circle.
Yep. Plan your trip. Make sure you're on the right path. Stay on the trails that are already there. Don't make new trails. Yeah. If you think of
new trails.
Leave no trace. Yep. I don't want to know you were here when you leave, so don't leave anything behind. Tread lightly is more of the motorized motto of travel responsibly, educate yourself, do your part, everything. Okay. So get along with each other.
There you go.
Share the trail,
Now it's we got to talk about events and things. 60th anniversary again. We got to talk about that. So what's the haps for this last little bit?
So there's still some things going on in the other parks. So if you get on our website, you'll see those things. We have our in December we're going to have a couple fun runs: Santa Fun Run and Jelly Belly Fun Run to get
Jelly Belly Fun Run.
Get moving after the holidays.
Jelly Belly Fun Run.
We have our Moonlight Snowshoe Hikes coming up.
Yep.
In December, January. We're actually doing them like kind of a week before the the full moon, because the full moon is so late in the evening, especially at Wasatch, because we have all the mountains around.
You don't want to go 2 a.m.?
So, no. Yeah, people always say, the midnight snow. I'm like, no, not
we
midnight.
Don't want to do
I won't
midnight.
be there at midnight. You can go hiking at midnight, but I won't be there.
Yeah.
So it's December 29th this year, and then in January 26th or 23rd, whatever that Friday is, I can't remember.
Okay.
And then another one in February 23rd. So hopefully we won't get rained out in February like we did last year.
We should just be nice to this little guy. No rain in
That's right.
January and December.
But the other big thing I want to talk about real quick is we're applying to be a dark sky park. And I know I've mentioned this before.
And there's different tiers. You're obviously not going to be the top tier,
maybe not
dark.
Right,
but
but Jordanelle and Deer Creek are also applying.
Right.
So we're hoping to just kind of motivate the whole community, which Heber's getting on board too. But on November 17th, Friday, it's a Friday evening from 6 to 8, we're going to do a dark sky program, talk about what it means to be a dark sky.
Which is?
The way our lights are shining, how many lights are on, things like that, and then promoting that people do the same thing, because we're losing our dark skies because of population, more population.
Parking lots.
The lights are shining up, which means it's not just about seeing the stars, but it has to do with health. Our
bodies are meant to sleep
cancer
in the
is
dark.
caused by light. All kinds of things, sleep apnea, all of that stuff. It has to do with light. Looking at your phones, at night, and all of that. Turning your TVs off. But to try and be a model for the community. So please, put on your calendars, everybody, that November 17th is, we're going to do a program and just kind of explain what that all means, and hopefully we can then
be a dark sky park.
Get the certification to be dark skies.
I'm expecting that'll happen. Thank you, Kathy, as always. It's good stuff. It's hard work that's going on over there at Wasatch Mountain State Park to make it fun for you. Of course, you're going to want to make sure you're part of the Moonlight snowshoe events. Don't miss those. You'll see some. I know you'll see some little creatures out there in the evening. Not to mention that it'll just be very romantic. Much more to come here on the Mountain Morning Show. We'll be right back.